Hi friends, welcome to Blue Studios STEM Lessons. I'm so glad you can join me today on another scientific exploration. Grab your peanuts and Cracker Jacks because today we're going to hit the stadium and take our learning quest right out to the field. The question we're studying today is, why does spinning a ball make it curve? You know, when those rocket arm pitchers throw a baseball towards the plate and somehow it curves in mid-flight? Or when a soccer player kicks the ball and it arcs right around the goalie? How is that possible? Today, we find out. Huddle up, team. Our gameplay today? Learn. We've got a fun activity paired with this lesson too. If you'd like to put your building skills to work, you'll need the following items: 2 paper or styrofoam cups, some tape, a handful of rubber bands. Ready, team? And break! We've seen it in sports games, or maybe you've even achieved it on the field yourself. The elusive curving ball. A ball that curves in flight seems like the player holds some sort of superpower to move things with their mind. But really, it's the result of physics. Let's prep our playing field by visiting physics titan Isaac Newton. Way back in the 1600s, Sir Isaac Newton was on a path of discovery as he studied moving objects. He was looking to answer questions like, how does gravity act on objects? What causes objects to move, accelerate, or change direction? Why do moving objects slow down? These investigations led him to create his 3 laws of motion that we still use today. The first law states, a body at rest will remain at rest, and a body in motion will remain in motion unless it is acted upon by an external force. This law tells us that things don't just move on their own. A baseball will stay still until someone throws it, and a soccer ball won't move until someone gives it a kick. The first law also tells us that things don't just change direction on their own. Like, for instance, a curve in the air. The baseball doesn't have a mind of its own. This is the first clue to answer our question. Let's skip ahead to the third law, which states that for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. In other words, for every push forward, there is a push back. I have a feeling this is the key to our quest. Let's think about that baseball pitch. As the ball is traveling through the air, it's exerting a force on the air, and consequently, the air is exerting a force on the ball. Imagine running as fast as you can. Even if it isn't a windy day, you can feel the wind on your face, can't you? We call that air drag. Air drag is the force pushing back in the opposite direction of an object in motion. Now, our focus question has an extra variable. We're specifically looking at a spinning ball here. How do the forces change when the ball is spinning? When a non-spinning ball is moving through the air drag around the ball is symmetrical on all sides. Therefore, the path of the ball stays straight. When a ball spins, the air drag is altered. One side of the ball is moving in the direction of the wind, and the other side is moving against the wind. That side that's moving with the wind speeds up the air dragged along its surface, whereas the side that's moving against the wind slows down the air. When air is moving fast, it creates a low pressure, and when the air is moving slow, it creates a high pressure. Bernoulli's principle can help us understand what's happening here. I know what you're thinking. No, Bernoulli is not a type of pasta. Oh, you weren't thinking that? I guess I've got pasta on the brain. Daniel Bernoulli was a brilliant scientist in the 1700s. He focused his studies on fluid dynamics, or how fluids act when they are in motion. And just like water, air is also considered a fluid. Even though it's in a gaseous state compared to water, which is in a liquid state. They both still act the same, and they flow, fill spaces, and take different shapes. According to Bernoulli, as a fluid moves faster, it creates less pressure. High pressure always moves towards low pressure. In other words, a fluid will rush into a place of low pressure and rush out of a place of high pressure. Looking back at our spinning ball, we see that there is a difference in air pressure on each side of its rotation. Air rushes towards the low pressure side of the ball, creating an extra force on that side of the ball in flight, thus pushing it to the side and causing it to curve. Remember Newton's third law? For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. The ball is pushing air one way, so the air is pushing back on the ball in the opposite direction. This phenomenon of a spinning ball producing a curve is known as the, drum roll please, Magnus effect. When a spinning ball is in flight, the Magnus effect tells us that it will always travel in the direction that it's spinning. This is why a ball with backspin has more lift up. A ball with a spin to the left will curve to the left, and so on. Let's get busy with our activity. We're going to make a Magnus flyer. It will help us visualize how spin affects the direction of an object in flight. You can print out the coordinating worksheet to walk you through the construction steps, and we'll also go through it here on this video. Do you have all the supplies? Great. Let's get started. Place one cup upside down on the table in front of you and place the other cup right on top of it, right side up. The bottoms of the cups are now touching. Use your tape to secure the cups to each other. We're already halfway done. Take your rubber bands and chain them together. 4 or 5 will do. That's it. Time to put this baby to the test. Using your rubber band chain, hold one end in place on your flyer. Stretch the chain around the flyer a few times. Now, hold the flyer in front of you with the chain coming around the bottom and held in front of the flyer. Make sure that chain has some good tension on it. Now, release the flyer. Whoa, what happened? Did your Magnus flyer arc upwards? Our rubber band chain put backspin on the flyer. Remember what we learned about the Magnus effect? The direction of the spin will dictate the direction the object will move in. Backspin has an upward rotation and the path of the flyer curved upwards. The theory checks out. Yes! Try experimenting with some theories of your own. Like, what if you let your flyer go off of your balcony? Or had a longer or shorter rubber band chain? Now that you understand the science behind the Magnus effect, you can even hit the field and try kicking some soccer banana shots or throwing some curveballs. We would love to see your Magnus flyers in action. Have your grown-up help you take a picture or video of your experiment and share using the buttons below or on social media. Be sure to tag Blue Studios. Your shares will put you in the running to win fun prizes and kudos from your instructors. In the meantime, let's learn a bit more about the Magnus effect. The Magnus effect isn't exclusive to baseball pitchers or soccer players. We see it used in golf to create lift under the ball, just like our Magnus flyers. This technique extends the distance that golfers can hit their shots. In tennis, players often attempt to spin the ball and achieve a wild curve to throw their opponents off. Beyond the many sports where we can see the Magnus effect in action, this principle is also being applied to help solve real-world problems. Researchers are exploring the possibilities of using the Magnus effect in renewable energy fields, like wind energy and powering large ships at sea. Many prototype machines have been crafted to test their potential, like cylinders used in place of wings on airplanes and sails on sailboats. Wow! And to think that we just started talking about baseball. Let's review what we've learned today. we went on a quest to discover what causes a spinning ball in flight to curve. There was a lot to learn along the way, but with the help of a few great scientists from history and our homemade Magnus flyers, we've answered our question. For an object to move in any direction, it must have a force placed upon it. When a ball is in flight, it exerts a force on the air, and the air is exerting a force back on the ball. When the ball is spinning, that air drag is altered. This creates a difference in air pressure on each side of the ball. Air will rush to fill the area with low pressure, thus exerting a higher force on that side of the ball. This force gives the ball an extra push and causes it to curve. How cool is that? I love how physics can answer so many questions. Great game today, team. It was a blast learning with you. I can't wait to see you share your Magnus flyers. There is so much to learn out there, and I look forward to hitting the field with you next time for another STEM session with Blue Studios. We will see you next time.
We are thrilled that you're watching Blue Studios 24/7. We're so excited to bring round-the-clock entertainment and educational content to your home. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button to stay up to date with our latest videos. At Blue Studios, we aspire to revolutionize the way families spend time together. We empower families by providing them with tools to work together, earn and learn, and achieve new heights of success. Visit www.bluestudios.io to discover more about our mission and how we empower families to succeed. Thank you so much for being part of our community. Keep watching and learning with us. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button.